Property management is the most important recruitment. And if you get that part of your business wrong, then every other thing, I can bet you, will not work out. They say experience is the best teacher. We don't want you to have this experience. That's why we are having this for everyone to learn. So the next one is, you need to ask them their management policy for eviction and lease violation. The reason for this is you don't want to have a property management company that will take time to evict people when they are owing. Because when you have a tenant that is owing for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and your property management is not expediting the process on time, you have a lot of delinquencies. You want to avoid that. So you need to ask them, what's your policy for eviction, so that you can have or take your decision on time. Like for us, on our properties, once it's 500, a tenant is owing like maybe one month, or before that, before the 10th of each month, they take you to court. So these are the conversations that we have. If you've not paid between the 1st and the 10th of the month, they'll take you to court. So you need to know their management policy for eviction and lease violation. How many evictions have you handled? You also need to know that, because they need an expertise experience to do this, because they have to go to court, they have to talk to the judge, or maybe they have a broker that handles this. You need to find out what this is and what is the cost. Why you need to know the cost is for you to do your underwriting properly. So it's important that you know this. What is the expected vacancy rate and delinquency in the area? You also want to know this because it's possible that the property you're purchasing has management issues. So maybe that's why the vacancy is high. So, but you're asking a property manager, what is the expected vacancy rate in that market? And the reason why you're asking for the market is for you to also be able to do your projections, right? And create your business plan. So for example, if the market is performing at 5% vacancy and the property you're buying is at 80% vacancy. So you already know that because the market is at 5% vacancy, you can give the property manager or management company a criteria that they must get to 5% because the market is doing it. And you also want to test their knowledge with it, because when you're asking them and they do not know it, then you should already have the sign that they're not doing their job. They don't know the local market. So that might be a sign for you to just take a walk. What reports do you provide? Because as an asset manager or an investor, you are reporting to your investors, your limited partners, even reporting to yourself or your GP partners. You need to ask them the kind of reports they'll be producing. Don't forget, they're the ones managing the day-to-day activities. They are the ones running the property management software. They are the ones running it. So you need to ask them what reports are they going to prepare for you. For us, we even put it as a responsibility for our property manager to present reports to us on all aspects of the business. That is from occupancy to delinquency to traffic, to capex, to prepayment, all aspects of it. We do it based on our KPIs. So through the KPIs we set, that is the type of report we'll be requesting for. So you need to ask them the kind of reports that they give out. If they are not saying exactly what you really want to hear or say, that might be another cue for you to know that they don't know anything. They should be able to tell you these different types of reports that they can produce depending on the property. Then when all these things you've done them, everything looks good, maybe you've spoken to them, you found out that they pound out in all the aspects, there's a check mark on everything. The next thing for you to do is to ask them to produce their contract agreement. The reason why you need to go through their contract agreement is because there are some hidden clauses that you need to quickly negotiate before you go into the deal. So there are things like when you are terminating a contract, some of them might tell you that you need to pay them 3 months or 90 days management fee or 60 days management fee and all that. So you need to check exactly what their contract states about that. So we saw that in one of our deals and we quickly addressed it. And we told them, we are not paying you anything. The moment we terminate your contract, based on this contract, you have, let's say you have 30 days to go. Once that 30 days elapsed, that's when your money stops. So you need to check what the contract says and align it to what, tailor it to to what suits you. Both of you can come to a compromise at that point. And again, I forgot to mention, the lender is also going to look at your contract and agreement. So whatever conversation you've had with the property manager, fine. The lender is also going to take a look at it and also insist that you put these clauses in it, because as much as possible, they also want to protect themselves. Don't forget, the lenders are major stakeholders of the deal. So they also want to do things to protect themselves. Then the next one is review references and visit their properties. You really want to do this, because for someone that is telling you, I can deliver, I can do this, I can do that, and you go to their property and their property is messed up, then that tells you that these people are not good. Another way you can go about this is go online, ask them for their properties, go online and see the review. You have to be very careful with how you assess the review online, because sometimes some tenants just want to make a property management company look bad. They might not be that bad, but you just have to read between the lines and be sure of those reviews. If it's becoming so common among everybody, then you might need to really watch it. And if possible, ask them questions. Another thing we get to do is we can even give them a random call. So when we're purchasing one of our properties, one of our team members decided to call the property manager to see their response time, to see if they're going to pick up. Why was he doing that? He was trying to be sure that when a prospective tenant comes, that somebody will be there to pick up. So you also want to do that. You also want to just test them out and see how they respond to you, if they are very rude, if they are accommodating, and if they will give you the right answers on the phone. When you're reviewing the contract and agreement, so you also want to put a limit on the funds. So for us, our limit is 5,000 on one, and the other is 20,000 on one, and because the deals are different. The reason why it's 20,000, the other one is because it's heavy items, whereas the other one is just petty items. So it's 5,000. They need anything above 5,000, they need to call us for an approval, except it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, they will go ahead and do it, but they need to communicate it with us immediately as well. So I think the next slide, I've spoken about it, that for different sizes, you have different property management approach. I just listed them out. They are both different in terms of their management fee. They are both different in the way they execute their repairs. They are both different in the way that they handle your funds. So you want to be sure that you're asking the right questions for the one that suits the deal you want to close on. So this is a case study of one of my earlier deals. So this is a 35 unit in Pennsylvania. The property is stable right now. It's 100% occupied, but it's 35 units. So the property management company that handles this is different from the property management company that is helping us handle a 48 bed, 120 units in the same market. So these ones, they put our funds in a general with order of their customers. So we don't have a special account for ourselves. Whereas this other one, we have a different account. The property management company we are using is specialized in student housing and traditional renter. So their specialization is in both. So that's why they are good to manage the bigger one. Whereas the smaller one, they typically handle smaller units. They like to handle smaller units. They don't want to grow bigger than that. How they execute our repairs, they have third-party vendors. We pay them every time a vendor comes on ground. We pay some commission to them. They take some money, 7% of the repair cost. So we know that, and we factor that into our deal. They also take 9% management fee, whereas this one takes 4% management fee. On this property, the bigger one, we have 4 team members on ground. We have the property manager, we have the leasing officer, we have 2 maintenance team. Whereas the other one, we don't have anybody on ground. We just have the property manager. So when there's an issue, the property manager, we go with a specialist to go take care of it, and he gets paid and everybody is happy. So different approach and different results. So you need to be careful. Like I always tell people, there's no single deal that is alike. They're all different. So you need to be careful and you need to do the right thing and get the right property manager for your deal.